Hi guys, welcome back to Robbie D's Kitchen. Today I'll be making a chocolate cheesecake, so let's get into the video. So first I'm going to be starting off with my crust, and to make that I'll be using Oreos and butter. As always, all of the measurements and ingredients used will be down below. So I just added my Oreos into the blender, and I did make the mistake of adding the butter before crushing the Oreos, so it was just a mess. So I would recommend doing it the old-fashioned way, I guess you would say, and that is just putting the Oreos in a baggie and beating it until it's super fine, and adding your butter, and you want to mix it until you get a wet sand consistency. Now I'm going to be greasing my 9-inch springform pan and then getting a paper towel to rub in the oil. Now I'm just going to be covering the bottom of the pan with foil. I'm going to do 2 layers of foil, and this is because I'm going to be putting my cheesecake in a water bath, and this is to help the cheesecake bake evenly and also prevent cracking or the cheesecake from sinking in the middle. Now I'm going to be adding my crust to the pan and just spreading that out evenly, and I'll use the back of a spoon to do so. Now I'm going to be baking my crust for about 15 minutes. I'm just gonna melt my chocolate chips with some milk. I did use half white chocolate, half dark chocolate, just because I didn't have enough dark chocolate. That's all melted. I will be adding in my espresso powder. You can skip the espresso powder if you want, but I think it adds a rich flavor. I'm just gonna add more water to my pot because I'm gonna be using that for the water bath. So for the filling, I'm going to be adding in my softened cream cheese. Then I'm going to be adding some plain Greek yogurt. Then my sugar and giving that a good mix. Now I'm gonna add my eggs one at a time. Now I'm gonna add my vanilla and flour and mix that in. Now I'm gonna add in my melted chocolate that I did let cool down. And you wanna give that a good mix. Now we're just gonna pour the filling into the pan. Now I did forget to turn my camera back on, so I don't have that footage. But when it's done, it'll look like this, and you wanna give it a few good taps. Now you do wanna place your cheesecake in a pan that is big enough to fit it. You're just gonna pour your water into the pan. You don't want the height of the water to exceed the height of the foil. And you want to make sure that your water is hot. Now you just want to let it bake until it's done. The middle still will be jiggly, but once it's cooled, it will set. To check your cheesecake, you do want to check the edges of it to make sure that it's done. Once it's done, you do want to allow it to cool for at least 5 hours or overnight if possible. Once it's cool, now it's time for the fun part. We're gonna decorate. So I'm just using some chocolate sauce that I had. I would have preferred to use melted chocolate, but like I said, I didn't have any more chocolate. But this turned out pretty good because it didn't run and it set really well. Then I just melted some butterscotch with some milk and just drizzled that on there as well. And then once I was done with that, I just went ahead and added some toasted pecans that I crushed into smaller pieces. So now I'm just gonna use a butter knife to loosen the cheesecake from the pan. You can do this step before decorating, and that probably would be a good idea because I did let the topping set a bit before I decided to do this step. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. And until next time, bye!